What's up? Welcome back to Talking Oscars. I'm John Stark from MacMovieGuy.com. I'm a tomato meter approved blind film critic. Look at that. Welcome to my channel, and I do Oscar predictions. So, I wanted to talk about four movies that have been on everyone's list. I was just going to go ahead and just say it. I mean, everybody's talked about these films in one form or another, and they've all premiered in the last couple of days. Three of them were premiered at Venice, and one of them premiered at Telluride. So we're going to go through these films. We're going to talk about Jay Kelly. We're going to talk about Begonia. We're going to talk about After the Hunt. And we're going to talk about Deliver Me from Nowhere, aka Springsteen Deliver Me from Nowhere. Um, and how people are reacting, what the critics are kind of leaning towards, what people seem to be saying, that kind of stuff. So, kicking off with what went first, which was Jay Kelly. That is the Netflix film directed by Noah Baumbach, which stars George Clooney, Adam Sandler, and Laura Dern, which was largely being thought of as being Netflix's most prominent, most likely contender, although they do have a whole bunch of contenders this year, and so that could change up really quickly. They have Frankenstein, they have Ballad of the Small Player, they have House of Dynamite, they have Train Dreams, Wake Up Dead Man. They have a whole bunch of films still to release this year that are on some level of profile. So the film got mostly positive reviews, but not necessarily like glowing reviews. It got a couple people that loved it. Peter Bradshaw from The Guardian absolutely hated this movie. Just absolutely ripped it apart. But for the most part, it seems like everybody got behind the Clooney performance. And then the Sandler and Laura Dern performances, the mentions that I've seen are good. They're just not like the kind of like, oh my God, Adam Sandler's a revelation and Jay Kelly, and like that's the focus of the thing. Turns out Clooney is playing enough of a diversion from his typical persona that that's interesting enough to talk about without having to talk about Sandler's performance and elevating that as being the central thing to talk about. So most people are focusing on Clooney's performance because he's the lead, and not so much on Sandler being the revelation, which might hurt him for supporting actor chances because I think for Sandler he really needed people to talk about how this is his career best performance and a revelation, and he needed to drive the conversation. It's kind of weird that he's not, considering that Clooney keeps skipping press. I feel like Clooney is really trying to get Sandler this nomination. I'm not even sure that his sinus infection is real at this point. I think he's he's just trying to. He's openly done press where he's been interviewed about himself, and he talks about Adam Sandler instead and his commitment to the film, and how he thinks Adam Sandler should be taken legitimately as an actor and seriously and all that kind of stuff. So everybody's setting this man up for a supporting Oscar nomination. The response leads me to believe that I don't hear much for Noah Baumbach's direction here. I don't consider it like a top five contender for Best Picture. I think it's a bottom five contender. We have to see what Netflix ultimately is going to push something. But if they have a better reviewed film that comes out of one of these other festivals, they may lean on Frankenstein or Ballad of the Small Player more if that's like getting crazy reviews. It's got like a 60 something on Metacritic, which is not great. It's okay. Um, and I think it looks like this could just be an acting play. This could be for Clooney, Sandler, and Laura Dern. It'd be weird for them to get in them in three things and then not get picture, but that would be exactly what happened a couple of years ago with Being the Ricardos, where it got in for performances but didn't get into the picture race. It's possible. It's not impossible. Some people will try to tell you it's impossible, but it's not. We just did it a couple of years ago. So, um, maybe. But maybe not everybody gets in. Maybe Laura Dern doesn't get in, you know? Maybe it's just Clooney and Sandler. I don't know. Or just Clooney. So, or just Sandler. Actor race is really tight this year. So, That's Jay Kelly. Begonia hit and got better reviews coming out of the gate. It has like a 79 or something like that on Metacritic. Again, not like mind blowing. Not everybody loved it. Most people did. Most of the praise is behind Yorgos's direction, Emma Stone's performance, or Jesse Plemons' performance. I was kind of disappointed because I was hoping Alicia Silverstone would come through in supporting, but I'm not seeing a whole lot for her. It's a remake of Save the Green Planet, and this is being accepted as being a weird Yorgos film in the same vein as Poor Things. I think Emma Stone has a battle to get into the Best Actress race because I think when you vote for things, you vote for things because you want them to win. And I can't imagine there are that many people who are thinking Emma Stone needs a third Academy Award right now in her life. I still believe that is a thing. I think when it comes down to it, if you're looking at your ballot and you have 6 or 7 names and you're trying to figure out, well, which 5 do you put through? I don't think you put through Emma Stone. I think you have her wait a year off, which is why I've seen a little bit of talk about maybe her being pushed in supporting, although the reviews are pretty clear about her being like the lead. So it seems like she's actually the central focus of the movie. Anyway, yeah, I think this could even be maybe like a screenplay. This one I've also heard people talk about the score, notably. So Begonia could end up several places. It's definitely getting better reception than Kinds of Kindness. This feels like it's closer to the Oscar than Kinds of Kindness, even if it doesn't feel like it is, again, like a top 5 contender. This also feels like it's like a bottom 5 contender. It's being released by Focus Features. So it's already picked up for distribution. Next up on the list, we've got After the Hunt, which also debuted at Venice to the most mixed reviews of the 3 films. This is being released by Amazon MGM. They're releasing this in October, which is theatrically, by the way, not to Amazon, the streaming service. But based on the release date, that means it'll be on Amazon's streaming service by the end of the year. Just based on how quickly, like, some of their other theatrical titles have made it, yeah, it'll probably hit their streaming service pretty quickly. December. Uh, so, um, this one is directed by Luca Guadagnino, who last year had 2 films, Challengers and Queer, and neither of them got nominations, any nominations. And Challengers was especially beloved by critics, just widely praised, and it got no nominations, not even for editing, which I thought was like the most obvious thing. I thought if Challengers were going to end up anywhere, we'd get like a lone editing nomination. It still feels weird to say that it didn't. You know, it's sort of like Top Gun Maverick not getting cinematography. It's just like, how? How are we making these choices? Um, so, eh, it's not looking good. Julia Roberts is, though. This is a film that could turn into Amazon MGM just pushing Julia Roberts. I'm not even seeing that great a praise for the rest of the supporting cast, which is stunning because this supporting cast is legit. There was even some talk about Garfield, whether or not he would go lead or supporting, because they also have Michael Stuhlbarg, who arguably has been chasing an Oscar nomination. If he has enough of a moment of a scene here, they could put him in supporting and then Garfield in lead. They may still do that because Garfield isn't getting the same sort of attention that Roberts is, so it doesn't really matter what category he runs in. If they think they can get Stuhlbarg in supporting and Garfield an actor, and they have like an equal shot to try to spread the love, they may do that. Aowa Debris in supporting actress. It'll be. I think more people need to see the film. My comparison, the feeling that I have watching After the Hunt, because if you read a couple of reviews from the people who really loved it, they're absolutely all about the movie. Like, some people really truly love this movie, but some people also really truly hated this movie. It's not like with Peter Bradshaw and Jay Kelly, where he was like the one person who hated the movie and everybody else generally liked it. And this one was more like a 50-50 split, with some people just really going that this missed the mark. Um, I think people are gonna have to see it. More people are gonna have to see it. I think this could be like a Saltburn, where like the people who love it obsess about it, and that could be where it gets its push. That didn't necessarily help Saltburn in its Oscar campaign ultimately, but Saltburn did stay in the conversation for a long time because of the people who were obsessed about it. But it didn't get challengers there either. So just because you're obsessed about something doesn't mean you can get in any nominations. However, Amazon doesn't have anything else to push this year, really, because they're, unless they change their release plan for Hedda, uh, which is being given like a 1 week theatrical before it goes to Amazon Prime Video. So they don't have too much else to run. It's an interesting quandary. They had kind of put all their eggs on After the Hunt, which is one of the reasons why I was willing to entertain the fact that it would be nominated, is because they don't have anything else. Maybe they just don't have anything this year. Maybe they're like Apple, you know. Anyway, um, and the last one is Deliver Me from Nowhere, which premiered at Telluride. It was opening film for Telluride, and so far what I've seen is great, glowing reviews. Obviously, it's a completely different set because you can't be in literally Venice and Colorado at the same time. It's just not possible. So these are different critics, so they're going to have a different set of opinions. So it's again, when these I know Deliver Me from Nowhere is going to the New York Film Festival, so like it'll get a wider reception there. Also feels like the right film. That feels like where it should have debuted. Honestly, it feels weird that it's debuting in Colorado, but whatever. Tell you right, I get it. It's getting the word of mouth out there, and so far the word of mouth is great. The stuff I've seen is solid, and Jeremy Allen White is getting all the praise that he needs to stay in the Best Actor race. So as far as what else comes into it, I think it's riding off of Jeremy Allen White's performance, and this could be a bottom 5 contender. This could be this could get supporting plays, but it definitely seems like Jeremy Allen White is in the Best Actor race, and that is not changing from what I'm seeing. So, recapping the 4, like what's still in, what's out. Because I predicted these films all somewhere at some point. I had Jay Kelly. I went pretty hard on Jay Kelly because it was Noah Baumbach, and I was thinking this has got to be Marriage Story. Like, he's not going to do another White Noise. I still think this could do well. And I'm not convinced that Netflix isn't going to give it the kind of push. It's also a Hollywood movie. It's a movie about movies, which Hollywood tends to vote for more. And it's got the kind of stars that I think Hollywood would vote for. It's got a really nice package still. It doesn't necessarily need the critical praise to get Oscar nominations. It needs that to get Critical Guild nominations, which are nice precursor awards to have. But this still feels like the kind of darling that the industry itself is going to accept. So, although its package seems a little bit weaker, so if I had to kind of chip away at it a little bit, just because it wasn't like accepted with like the oh my god level, I'd start chipping away at either, because I had it for picture, director, actor, and supporting actress. I would say either Noah Baumbach is out as director or Laura Dern for supporting actress. Probably Noah Baumbach for director would be the first thing that I would say goes. I just didn't hear enough about or see enough about his directing. I think it's possible he could still get a screenplay nomination for this, so he can be represented there instead. But yeah, the acting seemed to be like the big thing that was propelling the movie, so I don't know that they would take out an actor first out of the things that I was sort of picking it for. So if I had to still say Jay Kelly, I would go picture, supporting actress, screenplay, and then I don't know, below the line feels kind of like a really modern film. I don't know that it has any below the line potential, too much below that. So for Begonia, which does feel like it could have some below the line potential in things like maybe hair and makeup, Also score. I had this for Alicia Silverstone. I didn't have the faith in Begonia because I didn't think Jesse Plemons could break into the Best Actor race. I still don't. I think the Best Actor race is way too tight for a comedic performance. It's just not the kind of thing that they usually go for. And while Plemons has been nominated before, it's not like he's somebody who gets nominated a lot, and there are a lot of Best Actor performances still to be seen. So I'm not somebody who's going to slide Jesse Plemons in. I'm more aware of Emma Stone's performance because of the praise, but I'm still going to keep her just outside the top five because, again, if we have five stronger performances from people who aren't looking to win their third Oscar, I just don't think she's going to make the difference. Now, if I hear from Focus that they're putting her in supporting, I think she's a much better chance of getting a supporting nomination because she'll have a ton of screen time. I just don't think that's going to happen. I think this is probably picture director for Yorgos Lanthimos. And it's weird to say that it could skip all the acting categories, but it might. Hopefully they'll still push Alicia Silverstone for supporting actress. That'd be cool. It could be screenplay. Yeah, and score and makeup would be my guess right now. We've got After the Hunt. Man, I wanna abandon this for everything except Julia Roberts at this point. I want to turn this into just a play for Julia Roberts. I don't believe in anything else right now. After reading the reviews, I wouldn't put this in for any. I even feel bad because I think Aowa Devery had a shot, uh, and I would put her sort of in honorable mentions now, and see if maybe she can ride Julia Roberts' coattail to a nomination. But I think this is Julia Roberts' play, and the reviews on her are really strong. At least one UK publication predicted her to win. So there are still glowing reviews, even from people who weren't that high on the movie. They still loved Roberts. So I think she's still in. It's possible to just get a lone actress nomination out of the movie. And then finally, Deliver Me From Nowhere. I already had Jeremy Allen White. I had it in picture. And supporting actor for Jeremy Strong is a possibility. I think that's still the package. I don't know that it picks up anything else. I don't think Scott Cooper's getting in. I don't see that yet. I don't hear that level of praise for Scott Cooper's direction. But I think it could be it could be a Best Picture contender, especially now that I would take After the Hunt out of my top 10 for sure. So I would consider Deliver Me From Nowhere Best Picture potential, Jeremy Allen White, and maybe Jeremy Strong. And down the line, I don't know, costume design, I guess it could get that. Um, Sound, it's going to get sound because it's a music biopic. So those are a couple of nominations. Anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. I'll be back with another block of important reviews whenever we get another set of interesting titles to talk about. And I'll see you guys on the other side.